It's no accident that sounds like you're leveling up in a video game. 48% of 18 to 29-year-olds have an online dating profile.
Make them work for it.
45% of people say they're more frustrated with this form of dating than hopeful.
There are so many people you can connect with.
Should I swipe right?
Swipe wrong. Swipe wrong. Setting the record straight on dating apps. Everyday people telling everyday stories of the swipe right world with your host, Chaos.
Well, I know he had a good time.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Welcome to the Swipe Wrong podcast. I am your host. I am that guy. I am Chaos. Welcome to the number one podcast amongst people who finally just went through all the toilet paper they bought during the pandemic. They finally just went through their last roll, the 5 of them. They did. That's what happened. How's everybody doing? Let's do a quick abbreviated housekeeping. Like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody what's happening. Thank you so much for listening. Tell us your story, 317-426-6616. Reach out. Let us know what's happening. Email us at swipewrongpod@gmail.com. Also, make sure to pick up the Musician's Playbook. Jay has done an awesome job with that. So please go ahead and dial into that one too on Amazon. We are doing part 2 of last week, the continuation. The saga continues. We don't have a trilogy with this one, but don't let it ever be said that the sequel is not better than the original, because that is true in this case. The sequel just as good as the original. So please do us a favor, sit back, relax, put your feet up, grab your popcorn, get it buttered. If you're in traffic, just drive calm, relax, don't worry about the speed limit. It's okay. Just do what you'll do. But please don't hit that person next to you, in front of you, behind you, whatever. And enjoy Morning Mugshot Part 2.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions or any entities they represent. This podcast is about dating experiences. It is not to say one dating app is better or worse than another.
I mean, you have to meet so many frogs before you get your prince. I mean,
Sure.
The lady that was supposed to stay with me for 3 weeks still lives with me today. Because she didn't realize how tough it is, the housing market in Amsterdam. And I live like 10 minutes bike ride from her work. So
that's awesome.
She has stuck around a bit, but she's also single and she's also been dating. And 2 dates really stand out. One is where she had a date with this guy, and afterwards, the next day, he sent her a payment request.
No way.
Yeah, so he was like, because during the date, she even offered. She was like, so what do you want to do? You want to go Dutch, or what shall we do?
Sure.
No, let me pick up the tab. It's fine. And then the next day, he sent her a text message with, can you please pay me this much?
Oh my God. No way. Did he try to hook up with her after dinner?
Yes.
And she wouldn't, would she?
Oh, and then the
that's
next
why he
day
did
he was
that.
like, oh, okay, you pay for it, bitch.
That's so fucked up. Like, if she would have hooked up with him, he would have never sent that. And since she didn't hook up with him, he sends the payment request. Fuck, what a dirty move. That's so messed up. Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
And then there was this other guy that she dated, and then I dated the same guy.
That's so great.
Yeah, we didn't realize until later. And that was also a really weird date. I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. So quite early on, I said, let's call this a night. I don't think this is going well. I don't feel there's really a connection. So let's just go home. And then he even asked me, so before we said our goodbyes. So any chance of a second date? I said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And then the next day he started texting me and he was like, oh, I just wanted to point out clearly that I'm really not interested in pursuing this, and I really don't want to continue. You seem like a nice person, but I wish you all the best, but do not expect me to call you again after this. I was like, didn't we already cover this the night before? Why do you feel the need to point this out? I wasn't going to text you. Right. So
his ego couldn't take it. He had to say something like that just to put his ego, like, hey, I don't want my ego to be hurt. So I know, I'll tell her I'm not calling you again. And I guarantee if you'd have said, you know what, that's too bad, I was thinking about going out with you again. And he'd have been like, oh, well, I guess I could make an exception. He'd say something silly like that.
Exactly.
Right?
So weird. Like,
did he do something similar to her?
No, actually, she was the same. She was like, no, I'm not feeling it. She didn't say it in so many words. She just never contacted him again after that. But then when I told the story and I was like, yeah, and this is what he does for a living, and la la la. She was like, huh? That rings a bell. What's his name? It's like I don't know, Mark. He's like, Mark, show me the picture. So I showed her, and he's like, oh my God, I went on a date with him like a month ago. Like, oh, it's so crazy. Like, yeah, well, we both think he's a weirdo. So maybe we
he's
should
0 for 2.
Tabulate, like, oh, okay, just blacklist.
Yeah.
You see this guy? Don't go out with him.
Yeah, you can put him that, are we dating the same guy? If you guys have that over there, you can put that over there and say, this guy's crazy. Just be careful. You're going to say no to him, and then he'll send you a long message saying he's going to not go out with you again, too.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird, right?
It is weird. Totally weird. So, like, what apps do you use? Like, is it Bumble? Is it Tinder? Is there, what other ones are the main ones over there?
Yeah, I used Inner Circle. I tried Tinder. That's another thing, by the way. Tinder in Japan is totally different from Tinder anywhere else.
That's what I was trying to find out. What's the difference? Tell me. I'm going to shut up. Tell me. Sorry.
So Japanese people are very private.
Okay.
So on Tinder, all of the pictures are either landscape, food, or pet. Like,
whoa, not
how
people?
are you supposed to make any kind of assumptions based on that? I'm not gonna know if I like you based on the fucking landscape or a picture of your dog.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was like, swipe. Oh no, another one,
That's
another
weird.
one, another one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, they're like, yeah, they don't want to have their coworkers see them on those apps. I'm like, you're single and you're trying to meet someone. What's so bad about that?
Yeah.
I mean, if your coworker knows that you're out looking for someone, who cares? They're like, no, it's like too embarrassing.
Oh my God, that's so stupid. That was like, and then what if you match? What if they're like, oh, this dog looks really cool, and ends up being your coworker? That would be, the same thing.
Yeah, that can happen, You don't know what they look like. You show up on the date, you're like, oh,
yeah, right. It's like a blind date on steroids. Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Japanese people are so weird about dating. Like I even have one guy say, I will go out on a date with you, but I have one caveat. I'm like, oh, okay, so tell me. Like, yeah, you need to bring 2 friends. I'm like,
what?
Sorry, come again? Yeah, you need to bring 2 friends. We're gonna do Gokon. I'm like, what? Yeah, Gokon is where I bring 2 friends, you bring 2 friends, and we go on a date with multiple people. I'm like,
wow, I've never heard of that before. That's interesting.
Yeah, because it's more relaxed. So how is that more relaxed? I don't see this. Like, yeah, we do that all the time.
Really?
Like, how about if I don't bring any friends? It's like, oh, no, we're going on a date. Okay, fine.
I'm not going to bring any friends, including myself. How's that? We'll call that even.
How's that? How about I bring 0 people? Does that work for you?
Yeah, you can talk to my imaginary friends without me. We'll call that even. Holy shit. That's
Exactly.
weird. So that's cool. So you're off the apps now, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually met someone. It was super weird.
Yeah.
A friend of mine came over from Tokyo for ADE, Amsterdam Dance Event. And she said, I know a lot of the DJs. I can get us backstage access. If I can crash at your place for a week or so, I'll bring you to all these parties and it's going to be amazing. So I had all these stupid preconceptions of what it was going to be like. I thought like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's going to be like a free-flowing bar. There's going to be all these amazing people. It's going to be
Right.
so much fun. And then when we were there was this tiny fruit basket with one bottle of tequila and 2 packets of crisps, and that was it.
Wow.
Like, oh, okay. Is this why I stayed up until 4 a.m. to see this DJ I don't even know? So I was there for a little while and I was in a really foul mood, like, oh my
Uh,
God, I'm so cranky. This is absolutely not what I was expecting. And she was mostly looking at the DJ, like, oh, how's he doing? Like, oh.
yeah.
So it's kind of by myself. And so I turned around. There was this guy coming at me and he asked me, like, do you want a cigarette? I'm like, I don't smoke, but I mean, the night's already ruined, so
Yeah.
fine. Give me a cigarette. So like, yeah, let's smoke. And then I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. Why not go for it? So I started kissing him. And then this lady came up to me completely irate. It's like, oh, you absolutely cannot smoke here. You need to get out now. I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not going without my stuff. Let me get my stuff. And it's like, no, you have to go. So
Wow.
fortunately, I was able to get my purse and my coat. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, just come with me, come with me. So I went with him. He was a little tipsy, so he was using Google Maps to order an Uber. Like, oh, that's not gonna work, darling. It's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, and then we were in the taxi, and he was just arguing with the taxi driver because the taxi driver was like, "You need to pay cash," and he was like, "Yeah, I have a card." He's like, "No, cash only." Yeah, here's my card. So that was going on the whole time. I was like, oh, just get me out of here. Why did I say yes to this? So finally we were at his place. I was totally knackered. It's like, oh yeah, let me sleep. And because I lived in Japan for 10 years and my business Tokio Tours is centered in Japan, my whole life is on my Japanese phone. I need a lot of the apps that are only available in the Japanese app store. So my Japanese phone is my number one phone. And
Uh-huh.
then I have a Dutch phone that I just use if I need to call someone or do something I cannot do on my Japanese phone. So the next morning, I was supposed to meet my girlfriend who I ditched and left at the event. I was like, yeah, bye, see you.
Right.
And I was supposed to meet her for lunch, and it was almost that time, and I hadn't really heard from her since. So I wasn't really sure what she was up to. So I was rummaging in my bag, looking for my Japanese phone. So I threw away the Dutch phone and I started texting him. So where are you at? Are we still up for lunch? He's like, yeah. Let's meet in half an hour. So I was like, my hair was like
Oh, sure.
that, and the
Sure.
makeup was all over my face, and I didn't have a clean change of clothes. So I had this really like sexy outfit with high heels and
Nice.
not suitable for
Yeah, yeah.
any
Suitable for
type
the
of
night
lunch.
before, right?
Yeah, lunch sit down. So I was rushing to get out of the place, out of his place, and my car was parked at the hotel where we met the DJ, where we picked him up to go to the event. So I took an Uber to the hotel,
Uh-huh.
or even the guy ordered me an Uber, I think. And then I got to the hotel, and then I was like, okay, so let's get my Dutch phone out for navigation. So I was rummaging through my purse, and I was like, shit, I lost my Dutch phone. I must have left it at his place when I was upset and looking
shit.
for my phone. So, okay. So I was like, okay, no matter. I'll just use my Japanese phone. It's fine. So I went to the lunch. I mean, I was wearing this really short, revealing outfit, and it was a Michelin star restaurant.
Oh,
So
wow.
all of the people there were looking at me like side eye, like, oh,
Yeah,
is
for
she
sure.
working girl? What is she doing here?
Working girl, for sure.
Yeah, so I was like, trying to hide, like, oh, you want a dessert? No, 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 I'm fine, I'm fine. Let's just go, let's go. So we left, and then fortunately, I had the guy's number on my Japanese phone, so I started texting him. But he already told me, like, oh, I'm super knackered. I'm just going to take a sleeping pill and sleep for the rest of. So I wasn't surprised when I didn't get a response. But then the whole weekend, I didn't hear from him.
Oh, shit.
And I was texting him, can I please pick up my phone? When can I come? I need my phone. And then it was Tuesday. So we met on a Thursday, and I was so pissed off at that point. I was like, I will ask you one more time nicely. Can I please have my goddamn phone? And then he replied immediately, like, yes, 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 of course, of course. You want to come now or in an hour, or I'm home, you can come, it's fine. I'm like, okay, okay. Let me get ready and I'll be there in an hour. So I went to his place, obviously looking fabulous. Because,
Obviously, yes, yes.
and he was like, here's your phone. You want to come in? No. Can I take you out? No, just give me the goddamn phone. So I grabbed the phone from his hand and I was like, and he was like, oh, but I was like, no, just got in my car and left. And so then I got home and I got these messages like, oh, I feel really bad for not giving back your phone when you asked me the first time, and is there anything I can do to make it up to you? And I said, no, there's nothing. And then, are you sure? Are you sure? Can I not maybe take you out or what? And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to put the bar here, and then he's going to back off, and then that's going to be the end of it. So I said, oh, okay, if you can take me to this Michelin star restaurant for dinner, then I will reconsider. And I was like, he's never going to do that. He's never going to say yes to that. So he came back to me and said, oh, this restaurant, I cannot get a reservation. They're booked solid for like the next 6 months. So can I take you to this restaurant, which is also like a 5-course meal with wine and everything.
Nice.
It's gonna be fancy. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine. So yeah, we went to this restaurant. I gave him a really hard time, like, oh, is this your way of picking up women? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he just took everything. He was really patient with me. He was like, I'm sorry, I messed things up. You're really nice. So yeah, I ended up spending the whole weekend there, and then like 2 weeks later, he was at my place, and he's Colombian. And he said, oh, next month I'm going to Colombia for like 2-3 months. And if you like, you can come over and spend some time with me. And he thought, I'm never gonna do that. Who does that? Like last minute, pay like a expensive ticket to go all the way to the other side of the world and meet someone you hardly know. And I was like, well, yeah, let's go his bluff. I'm like, yeah, okay, got my phone. Like, what date? Looking for flights. And then he was totally stunned, like, is this really happening? I'm like, sure.
Wow.
I love the challenge. So don't tell me I can't do something.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I have flexible hours. I can basically work from anywhere. So, and this is the low season in Japan now anyway.
Okay.
So, and then I booked the flight. He was really stunned, like, Okay, so this will be fun. We'll travel together, and
That's
then
awesome.
I was supposed to go on the 4th of January,
Uh-huh.
and then at New Year's, I was sending him these really sweet messages like, I hope you're having a nice celebration. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. And I wish you were here so we could kiss on the new year or
Yeah, sure.
something cliche like that. And he didn't reply. And he didn't reply for days. So I was like, fuck.
Wow.
I mean, I'm about to go to Colombia to see this guy I don't
Yeah.
know that well. And he's not even replying to my text messages. Is he even expecting me to come, or what's gonna
Right.
happen? Am I gonna go there and it's like no one's there, or
Right.
so getting a bit worried. So I thought, I'm just gonna get a hotel for myself for the first 2 nights just to make sure.
Sure.
And then, fortunately, like the day when I was supposed to leave, he did text me. He's like, yeah, I'm going to pick you up for sure. And I'm
Okay.
sorry, I was just partying a bit too hard. I went a bit cuckoo crazy. And of course, I'm very much looking forward to seeing you.
That's
So
cool.
still, I was a bit hesitant, like,
Sure.
not sure. Let me just get into my own hotel and we'll see after that. And he's like, no,
Right.
of course not. We're going to spend time together. It's gonna be great. Just cancel the hotel already. Just come with me. Don't be silly. So
Right.
and then so we were supposed to be together for 3 weeks. So I booked the flights for 3 weeks. And then the night before the departure, I was supposed to leave on a Sunday. Uh we were just out partying and I still needed to pack my bag. So the whole time we were like, we can still make it. We can still make it. We can still make it. Just stay one
Right.
more hour. We can still make it. And then at one point we're like, we're not gonna make it.
So it's become
So
indefinite now, or what?
no, sort of. I mean, he is probably going to stay here for a few more weeks, and
Okay.
since I'm here longer, I decided, well, let's see if I can rustle up some business here while
Oh,
I'm
that's
here to
cool.
make it a bit worthwhile. So I'm in negotiations with some travel agents here to see if we can do some kind of collaborations.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
so yeah, it's been really amazing, and I'm going back to Tokyo next month for work. So I'm probably going to leave somewhere in the next 2 weeks. But
Wow.
so I've just been living here with his family for over a month. So
Wow.
it's really been a roller coaster ride. Like someone offering you a cigarette, and you're, even though I'm not a smoker, I'm like, yeah, sure, going living with the same guy for a month in a
Right.
different country where you don't speak the language. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's go crazy. What's the
That
worst
is
that can happen?
awesome. Well, you turned a bad night into a month-long vacation and a new relationship. That's what you did.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Life happening for you, not to you. That's pretty amazing. That's cool. And
Yeah.
everything's been going good, huh? He's not doing anything crazy stalkerish, or I mean, you're living with him,
No,
so I mean,
no,
same
not at
thing.
all.
Yeah.
Actually, he's super supportive, and
Love it.
yeah, it's like, and he keeps asking me, what do you want? How do you feel? What can I do for you? I'm like,
Really?
oh, no one's ever asked me that before. Stop doing that.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. So he
Yeah.
goes back to Tokyo. You just kind of gonna transition back there when he goes back?
No, he lives in Amsterdam, actually. That's where we met.
Oh, Amsterdam. I'm sorry.
So first we're going to go back to Amsterdam. He's going to go back to work there. He's been working remotely since he got here, which is really hard because he gets up at like 3 a.m. every day because
Okay.
of the time difference. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go quickly to Amsterdam to change my luggage and then go to Tokyo
I
for
see.
work, and then stay there for a couple of months and then go back to Amsterdam. And he wants to also come to Tokyo to meet some people in Tokyo because he's into the music industry.
That's cool.
So he has a record label, and he organizes festivals. So I've been trying to connect him to some of my contacts in Tokyo to set some things up. So
That's pretty
hopefully
awesome.
and he can come to Tokyo and I can show him my world. And then
Yeah, right. He's showing you his, you show him yours.
Yeah, I can speak Japanese and then see how he feels it.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, still, like, though, like, you guys, like, that's so bitching. Like, you guys are, I don't know, figuring it out together, all different areas, doing different things. And it started off of a cigarette, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's one thing I learned. Don't let fear stand in the way of an opportunity. It's
Yeah,
always better to just go for it and then regret your decision later. Like, oh, this on hindsight, this wasn't such a good idea, and just figure out how to solve it once you get there. Then wondering like, oh, what if I said yes? Maybe
yeah,
it would be
yeah,
fun, you know,
yeah.
just go for it.
I love that. That's so true because if you would have, there was, it used to be a shirt that said, "Don't die wondering. Don't wonder if it was going to be, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that." Yeah, you can always
Yeah,
back out of it. Like you can always go there, hey, this didn't work out. Let me go back and I'll figure the rest out. But you wouldn't have known
yeah.
if you, like, God, the experience you're having is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Colombia has been mind-blowing. I mean, the people here are amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, you have all these preconceptions, like going to Medellin, a town of Pablo Escobar. So
yeah,
everyone using drugs and
sure.
everyone
Cocaine Rhino. I know.
and criminal and like, no, it's totally not like that. It's a really developed town. Um, with the people here are also very developed. They have great jobs, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people with an entrepreneurial spirit. Like, how can I help you? What do you want? How can we connect? How can we
Right.
collaborate? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess this is happening. Let's do it.
Yeah. Good for you, girl. You're awesome. This is
Thank
badass. I
you.
love the whole thing from start to finish. Sorry about the crazy stories, but it led you all to the great story that you're having right now.
Exactly. I mean, you need to know what you don't want before you know what you do want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
if
that's
you
easier to
don't.
figure out. Easier to figure out what you don't want, harder to figure out what you do want, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I have friends that have married their high school sweetheart that have been
Sure.
together for ages, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe the life you're living." And aren't you scared? Doesn't that upset or frighten you? I'm like, no, of course not. Just take it day by day, and if you don't like something, then voice your opinion. Try to work it out, and if it doesn't work out, then just consider it a great learning opportunity and a nice
Sure.
experience, and just move the fuck on and try something.
That's how you figure it out. That's the best way to figure it
Exactly.
out. I fucking love
Yeah.
that shit. So let me give you a minute. Like, so Tokyo Tours, tell like pimp it out. Like how to like I
Yeah.
know there's not a lot of Tokyo, but for people who might want to know who buy out there who listen, tell people about it.
Yeah, so my business is Tokyo Tours. I organize guided tours in Japan with, yeah, I'm going with local guides. I have 50 people working for me from various destinations in Japan. So, of course, all the obvious ones like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Nara. Um, so if you're coming to Japan, I can definitely recommend you check us out. We just won the APEC prize for best bespoke tour guide company in Japan. And we have
Awesome.
a ton of 5-star reviews. I've been doing this since 2013, so more than 10 years already. So I have a ton of experience. Our focal point is flexibility, so we always try to keep it centered around what the client wants and how can we accommodate the client and how can we change things around so they have the best experience. So check us out, www.tokyotours.nl or .com. Both are mine. So
Okay. All right. TOKIO, right?
Yes, yes. And we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're everywhere. So check us out on the platforms. Follow, like, and subscribe, as they
There you
say,
go.
cool
Yeah.
kids say. And yeah, DM me, slide into my DMs, baby.
Oh, I'm sure that happens quite often. I'm sure you're getting plenty
Yeah.
of slid into your DMs. Look, I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
say anything more than thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for being along for the ride of the Swipe Wrong podcast. Remember, everyday people telling everyday stories of the swipe right world. The show is produced by Jay Pelham. He is the host of Pelham Place. So make sure to check that out. Also, I am Chaos, the host of Chaotic Commentary. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend about the pod. And if you have something that you want to share, please, we want to hear from everybody and get everybody's stories as much as we possibly can. Email us at swipewrongpod@gmail.com. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail. Let us know if it's okay to call you back. 317-426-6616. Thanks for being along for the ride. And next week, the saga continues.